Imagine getting so hungry that you trade an entire inheritance for just a bowl of soup. Yeah, that sounds horrible. Just a terrible deal. Well, does that remind you of anyone? Because it certainly reminds me of someone. Yeah, I'm talking about Esau, because that's exactly what Esau did. But the story of Jacob and Esau is more than just like a bad trade about mistakes. It's a story about deception and forgiveness and how God can change people's hearts. Today we are going to look at the story of Jacob and Esau and explain what a birthright actually is and answer the important question. Why did Jacob go back to face Esau, and why did Esau choose to forgive him? Before I talk about the story, I'm going to explain to you what a birthright is because I didn't even know what a birthright was before I actually read the story. So basically what it is just that it's like a hierarchy in your family. You get like a larger portion of your family's inheritance, become like a leader after your father passes away. And you kind of just carry on the name and like legacy. But for Abraham's family, the birthright meant even more. God had made a promise to Abraham that his descendants would become a great nation through his family and that would be blessed. So the birthright wasn't just about money, it was connected to God's promises. And this is where Jacob and Esau's story begins. So I'm going to tell you the story of Jacob and Esau now. So Jacob and Esau were twin brothers born to Isaac and Rebekah. It's a weird way of saying Rebekah. I'll show it on screen. I don't know why I thought I'd include that. Esau was born first, making him the firstborn, giving him birthright. Only the first child gets birthright. Second one, it doesn't, even if they're twins. These brothers were very different. Esau was a skilled hunter who loved being outdoors, while Jacob was more of a comfortable, like, stay-at-home kind of guy. One day, Esau came back from hunting, exhausted and hungry. Jacob was cooking a pot of stew and asked for some food. Instead of simply just helping his brother, like he probably should have done, he made him an offer, like a trade almost. And he said, "I'll give you the stew if you trade the birthright." And Esau, in the moment, agreed. And he said, "Yeah, sure." And he obviously didn't value the birthright too much, as it was traded for a bowl of soup. That's pretty weird. But Jacob wasn't innocent either. He wanted God's blessing, but he tried to get it through manipulation instead of trusting God's timing. Now, fast forward a bunch of time, years later, Isaac was old, his dad Isaac, and his eyesight was failing. So he wanted to give Esau a special blessing that belonged to the firstborn. But Rebekah helped Jacob create a plan. Jacob dressed in Esau's clothing and covered himself with animal skins so he would feel like his older brother. Isaac was tricked and gave Jacob the blessing meant for Esau. When Esau discovered what happened, he was pretty sad because, obviously it was meant for him. I would be sad too. He had already lost his birthright, and now he felt like his blessing has been taken too. Esau became so angry that Jacob feared him for his life. So Jacob just ran away. During Jacob's long vacation time away, Jacob spent many years not at home. And during that time, he built a family, gained wealth, experienced many challenges. But more importantly, God was changing him. The same Jacob who once relied on tricks and deception began learning to trust God. Eventually, God told Jacob it was time to return home. But there was one major problem. He had to face Esau. The last time Jacob saw his brother, Esau wanted revenge. So why did Jacob go back? Jacob wasn't returning because he thought everything would magically be fine. He was terrified. And still, when he heard Esau was coming with 400 men, Jacob thought his brother might just attack him. He prepared gifts for Esau and prayed to God for protection. But Jacob was also returning because he had changed. For years, he had run from the consequences of his actions. But now, he was willing to face the brother he had hurt. Esau ran toward him. After everything had happened, Esau chose forgiveness. Why? The Bible doesn't give one exact reason, but we can still see a few possibilities. First, many years have passed. The anger that had controlled Esau might have just faded. It meant that Esau chose not... Why are there so many horses? Forgiveness didn't mean that what Jacob did was okay. It meant that Esau chose not to let bitterness control him. The lesson that we can take away from this is that it shows that people can make mistakes. Esau cared more about what he wanted in the moment rather than the blessing that he had been giving. Jacob wanted God's promise, but tried to take control instead of trusting God. But God worked through them. This story teaches us not to trade important things for temporary satisfaction. It teaches us that trying to force God's plans usually leads to bigger problems. And most importantly, it teaches us that broken relationships can be restored. Their story reminds us that with God, forgiveness and change are possible. So, let me know, who do you think changed more, Jacob or Esau? I want to know in the comments. And with that concludes the end of our video. I hope y'all enjoyed. This is my first one, and just trying to get better at public speaking. So, yeah. See ya.